Hi.
Hello.
It's us.
It's us.
The Boobays.
The Boobays. Your bays. Your booze.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
We didn't really go anywhere, but
Yeah. I mean, we just disappeared for a week,
but
as we normally do.
like a ghost.
Yep.
Like
Coming at you every Tuesday. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to talk about some scary movies.
We are. Scary movies that we love, you love, you hate, we hate. Ones that the popular opinion hate.
Ones that Rotten Tomatoes hates. Yeah. What was it? 27%.
Let me
tomato
go back to that.
rating.
Metacritic, we got 38. Okay, I really hate this new Apple update. I can't tell what the fuck's going on my phone.
You're so lost.
At all. Like
okay.
the web. You know how everything's at the bottom now? I fucking hate it. Oh, it was a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.2 on IMDb, and 38% on Metacritic.
But hey,
but 85% of Google users did like this movie.
And it's got a 6.2 out of 10, so that's not bad on that part.
Yeah. Anyways, we're talking about
As above, so below. As below, so above.
As below. Esmeralda. I don't know. Hey, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Good little call right there. And we are in Paris.
We are.
That's where this movie is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to talk about it. There's a lot to unpack with this.
There's
so much.
many little subtleties.
I mean, it's also too, like, being a horror film, whatever. There's just a lot of, like, we were kind of joking about it yesterday about, like, this is almost like National Treasure, but horror film.
Yes, yeah.
And as I'm watching it again, I'm like, oh, you're so, like, I'm getting so much National Treasure from this.
Yeah, as I was
like,
watching it this morning, I was like, oh, yeah.
Every, like, her, yeah.
Like,
So
when's Nick Cage going to pop out?
Literally.
Where is he? Where's my man? One True
It
God.
would be the only thing that would cement it. If he played Nicholas Flamel.
Oh, my God. Really, they missed.
Reprises his role as Ghost Rider. There are so many opportunities there.
Mm-hmm.
A little crossover.
Yeah, they really missed an opportunity there. They should.
Shout out to Nick.
They should. John Eric.
Yeah,
the Dowdle.
The director, right?
The Dowdles. Yeah, they should have consulted us.
Dowdle.
When are these producers and directors gonna learn?
Winner, chicken.
Their
dinner.
lesson.
Yeah, I don't know.
And talk to us.
We'll see.
We only have the best ideas here.
We need to make a movie.
We do.
Okay, side note. Okay, we're getting distracted. All right, so
Boobays the movie.
Literally,
it's just me awkwardly laughing at a camera. I can't act.
Oh, and I'm just like dropping mallets down streets. If anybody finds a mallet
down Austin Avenue,
please return to sender. It's me.
Yep. We lost one. R.I.P.
All right. So, As Above, So Below, a film released in 2014, directed by John Eric Dowdle, who did not talk to us about this before he did it. But you know what? Hey.
And Drew Dowdle helped produced it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's Dowdles. I don't know.
Oh, maybe they're lovers.
That's what I was hoping, but it's probably not.
Yeah, this was 2014, so gays could still not marry at that time.
Maybe they are gay, though. Look at them.
Caitlin.
What?
I'm just kidding. It's the way that everybody's gay to me. At least I hope so.
He usually works with his brother, Drew Dowdle. They literally do not look alike at all. What the fuck? They look so different.
Do you look like your siblings? We'll see, Patty. Yeah, I've never seen your other brother.
Breton and I look pretty damn similar.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got a same face.
Yeah. I look a lot like one of my sisters, but my other sister, I mean, we still favor, but she takes more for my mom's side of the family.
Yeah, Patrick takes more for my mom. Anyways,
back to the film.
How do you compare to your siblings?
Yeah, please.
People,
comment,
let us know.
Leave it in the comments. Post your picture. Send it to us. We'd like to know. So today
we got a little recap of. So essentially, what's happening is we are following. Huh?
Sorry. Yeah, lay down the structure.
Oh, I thought you said, hold on, wait. And I was like, oh, okay. Essentially, we're following archaeologist Scarlett Marlowe, who is played by Perdita Weeks.
I like that name.
Perdita.
Perdita.
Yeah, you say it better. She's essentially devoted her whole life to finding one of history's greatest treasures, Flamel's Philosopher's Stone. Nicholas Flamel. We got some alchemy in there.
I was like, ooh, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
That was like the Sorcerer's Stone.
Pretty much. And actually, yes, because Flamel gifted that to Dumbledore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, according to legend, the artifact can grant eternal life and turn any metal into gold. When she learns that the stone is hidden underground in the catacombs of Paris, she assembles a crew to guide and document her historic mission. As they begin their descent, the team members have no way of knowing that they are essentially entering their own personal hell.
Yeah.
It is preying on their past and forcing them to like come to terms with their past. And so they're each haunted in their own, they're each haunted by their past.
By their past. And it really comes out throughout the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
little subtleties, so
very much so.
Just everywhere.
And so, yeah, basically we also start to with like Miss Scarlet. You already get a lot of backstory of how it's opening up. Well, there's an opening scene where she's finding the ruby or the red rose.
It's the rose key.
The rose key.
And that's written in Aramaic, which is how our homeboy George comes in later.
Yeah. So basically it starts off with her completing her dad's mission to find the stone. But in doing so, she had to find this rose key because it's going to help her translate and all the other clues that she needs to actually find
like
the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
And so then after that, though, we skip to like they're opening up. It's like a found footage style type of film. And so it opens up with Benji, who is her cameraman.
Slash, I guess just assistant.
Something. Recording her, and it's almost like an interview or just kind of getting to know her. So you really get a lot of the backstory of like already like her father was searching for this stone, and he ultimately ended up killing himself.
A few things going back though to the found footage scene that happens as she's finding that rose key. They're blowing up. They're demolishing this cave system, I guess is what it is. And so as she's going in there and as she's escaping and all of the like horror and the
collapsing,
just calamity, she sees her father hanging from a noose, which comes heavily into play later. So I think it's important to note that his body was there. And then she also said that the punishment for trespassing like this, wherever they were, it's like burial up to your neck in sand. And all I could think about was Scorpion King.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's like
I know what it is.
Yeah, there's just like this one scene where the rock's buried up to his neck in sand. Yeah, and then he has to like bite these big ass fire ants off and shit. It's really dumb. I love it.
That's because it's a spin-off from The Mummy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, The Rock.
With The Rock.
He's made such a career.
He did.
After the wrestling thing, you know? Like
really came into his own. But I just love Scorpion King.
And so
it's such a trash movie.
We all have those trash movies that we really like.
Yeah.
I have quite a few of them. And so so we're getting to like get to know her backstory. Miss Scarlet has 4 degrees.
Essentially, she's for sure fluent in 4 languages and 2 dead ones.
There we go.
And she's got at least 3.
It was like 3 degrees. It was something.
I wrote Homegirl's got like 800 degrees.
Yeah.
Like essentially she's just a boss bitch.
98 degrees.
Yes. Didn't we talk about Nick Lachey yesterday?
Yes. But yeah. So you're really laying down the framework of like Scarlet is
smart as fuck.
Smart, but is also too like dedicated, like all of the degrees at least. I mean, it's not like rocket science or this or that. Like she has dedicated her life to continuing her father's work. And so everything is like
her entire life is like coming to this moment.
Yes.
Everything she's worked for, everything her father has worked for.
And instilled in her what she's learned.
Unfolds in an hour and a half.
90 minutes. Yeah, the film is literally 93 minutes. But yeah, so we're getting to know that we found the rose key. So now she has to go find George.
George, and he's fixing some clocks.
Yeah, it's the way that I guess he what did she say?
He's a clock fixer?
He likes to break into places and fix things.
Oh,
remember?
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah. Because she breaks into this church, old bell tower.
Bell tower, yeah.
Oh. And so they're looking for George, and it's the way that like whenever he first sees her, he's just like, nope, whatever you want, I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, they got some history.
There's some history there.
We find in Turkey Turkey, they had some issues. Essentially, he ended up in a jail. And I think she just kind of dipped.
Yeah, I guess she left him.
Yeah.
Because she said, I couldn't let the lead die. So I'm assuming like she just let him take one for the team as she was still trying to following whatever lead it was that was leading her to the rose key. Because that's what she was searching for, I guess, at that time. And so it's the way that like if I were also the cameraman, Benji, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, you obviously, because he's telling her, like, George is telling Benji, like, stay away from her. Like, whatever you do not. And I'd be like,
Don't follow
that's
her.
a red flag right there.
This bitch will abandon you in a foreign country.
And leave you in jail. And he's like, you left me in prison. She's like, I mean, it was more of a jail, not a prison. Like,
she just brushes it off.
Literally.
I mean, I guess, thankfully, at least he seems to be fluent in quite a few different, at least in Aramaic, because that's what mainly comes into key here. Yeah. But
and I feel like
I imagine he probably took care of himself. There, but
and I'm sure like if there was a prequel, that's like what brought them together. Like I can see like she was in search of like some translator for this and that, but then they fell in love. But then she left him in jail.
And then she left him and never returned his calls.
This running thing for her.
Yeah,
she don't pick up the
phone. Oops.
Until she gets the hill.
Yep.
And so we was that the chair?
That was the microphone.
And so
essentially she tells him like, yo, I found the rose key, and he's like, what? You did? Okay. And so now he's like, oh God, as much as I hate this bitch,
he's like, I gotta.
She's got her little hooks in me, and he's like, I gotta fucking know. I gotta know. And so he talks with. There's some jealousy going on as he talks with the museum curator.
That's right.
And they were.
Well, I think it was even before.
Beautiful.
Maybe wasn't it even before though? From both of them, because it was whenever she was like, I found it, and he's like, well, who'd you go with? Did you go by yourself? Who was with you?
Oh yeah.
And I felt like that was more of a like you shared that moment with another person and not me.
I could see that.
What?
And then on her end, whenever he's speaking with her, she's like, she's really beautiful. And Benji's like, yeah, she's got great legs. Yeah. I was like, okay.
And she's like, oh, how do you know her?
Yeah,
and
trying to be subtle.
And it's his like face expression when he's like, work circles.
Yeah,
like
professional circles.
Like professional fucks.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so they
it's
get
okay, bud. You get around.
They get into the museum. She left him in jail. She has no like.
Yeah, he can go fuck who. And you didn't return his calls, girl.
Literally.
He can fuck whoever.
And so we get into the museum that this curator or whoever let them into.
She said 10 minutes.
10 minutes to look at Nicholas Flamel's tombstone. His tombstone that he carved himself.
Yeah.
And so it's under her belief that he left clues on there to find this philosopher's stone.
We got to get the back of the what's the what's that map? What's that thing that we it's like
which one?
The Declaration of Independence.
Oh yes, so here National Treasure.
We gotta get the back with the lemon,
with the lime,
fire.
It's the way that I'm like. Whenever right before this happened, I'm just thinking like, I just know they're about to pull some lime out, some invisible ink shit, and I'm just like, it's the way that have we not found another way to hide fucking maps on backs of things? Like,
nope, we gotta do it like that.
And also too, it's the way that there was. She's like, oh, we just need some everyday cleaning supplies, and there was literally a tray.
Cleaning cart right there.
Cart just right there next to her.
Yeah, like where was the custodian who was
right?
Yeah, where did they go? They just dipped. They said, "Here, I'll leave this. I know that this cart's gonna come in handy."
Sitting in the restroom watching YouTube on company time, probably.
And now a word from our sponsors.
As if the McCrispy couldn't get any better, Bacon and Ranch just entered the chat. The Bacon Ranch McCrispy, available at participating McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Anyways, they realize on the back of this, so he's helping her translate it, and they've got this big old puzzle, essentially, all these clues and stuff that they're having to decipher. And they're seeing like, oh, he's carrying something on his back. And so that's why they decide to pull it off the wall. And
Back of it.
at one point, George goes, like, once the actual
Yeah.
fire lights up and shit, he's like, okay, that's cool. Not go to jail, cool. But that's
still
really fucking cool.
Yeah.
You can see that he's like, okay, shit, I know this is illegal, but damn, like,
yeah.
you're right.
Because it's like, oh man, you were right. And
Yeah.
then he, just as much as she does, I think it's more, I mean, she has obviously like her dad behind it. That's her thing. But he seems to like really also love like the thrill of like that kind of shit.
I mean, they're both like history buffs.
Yeah.
Little nerds, which is great. That's awesome.
Great pairing, especially for this movie.
Yes. And so they get so passionate when they are like looking through what that inscription said, and they're going through and deciphering each bit. And I don't have everything on there, but the what is lost shall be regained is, I think, kind of the biggest takeaway from that.
The theme that kind of runs throughout everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, I mean, again, their past
really comes to bite them in the ass.
to haunt them. And they get it again. So
it's the way that everybody, well, not everybody, I guess, but a lot of these, like, the characters have, like trauma, like some sort of trauma or some secret or something unresolved, like, issues. I mean, we all do, right? But I mean, like, these people had, like, some fucked up stuff. Like, and it's
very
just
sad events.
And it's just so funny that they all, like, end up being the ones together. You know what I mean?
It's very convenient for the plot.
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah, so we're getting to them now looking at the back of the thing. They found out, like, more clues.
They're realizing they need to go underground.
That's right. They realize that they need to go to the catacombs. And so that's when they go on a tour.
And they have all these maps and stuff that they're putting over, and that she's thinking that she needs to go, what is it, 147?
Yeah.
Or 740 feet below ground.
Because apparently the devil's number is 740 something.
741, I think.
And so she was like, so half of that, 300 and something 65.5 is like where the stone will be. So they have to go below into the earth. And then that's when Benji's like, how the hell are we going to do that?
Yeah. And they're thinking it's below Flamel's grave. And when they put the map of the catacombs over where Flamel was supposed to have been buried, they realized that, oh, fuck, that doesn't line up. But then there were 3 major collapses that happened.
Shout out to George for knowing this part of history.
Yes, that happened. And essentially now I don't know if this is actually true, but for the plot of the movie, it's great. Essentially, the city kind of swallowed up.
Yeah.
Which I feel like kind of comes back into play with the car scene later.
Oh, yeah.
But the city swallows up and
Just goes
buries.
into the ground, like a sinkhole.
Yeah.
But like buried. Yeah.
And that's when Benji goes, well, how could... And one, like the third one happened pretty close to Flamel's grave. And then he's like, how could it collapse if it's supposed to be solid ground?
But obviously there's a hidden chamber underneath. And that's what they come to the conclusion of. And so now they're like, well, we got to get down there.
We got to get down there. And so they do go on the tour.
Yeah, they go on the little tour of the catacombs. I was about to say the cataracts and the catacombs. And
there's 6 million corpses down there.
Yeah, that also in itself,
Bodies.
like I know of the catacombs, but like I wish I knew the actual, like, do you know, like, why there are so many bodies down there? Or they just exhumed that many dead people from graves and
Yeah, they
cemeteries.
said they were stinky.
Yeah, so they just exhumed them and they put them underground.
Yeah.
But that's also, like, it's so crazy to me. Like, there's just so many bodies.
I just imagine that during some sort of war or plague or something, there were just so many, like, and probably mass graves. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't actually know history.
Brush up my history on that. 'Cause it actually is super intriguing to me.
Yeah.
And excuse me, I want to go.
Yes.
I would really like to go.
I would 110%
like,
go.
If I ever go to France, Paris, because it's under Paris, right? Yeah, I would definitely love to go over like 200 like caves, like cave system.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. Like, although the entire idea of caves are terrifying, really, because it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they don't bother me. I will 110% still go into them.
I want to go cave diving.
It is a scary thought to think about, you know? Like,
yeah.
Because, like, I mean, as Suxi is saying later on, you know, pretty much if any of these little things go wrong, you're dead.
And it's very minor things, but it's like you are dead. Yeah. If your batteries go out on your light, if you don't have any water or food, I mean, obviously you're
kind of fucked.
The thought of like being underground where it's so fucking dark and having no light.
It's very claustrophobic.
Yeah. And like you're just lost forever then. Like,
yeah.
That's it. Like, lights out, you're dead.
Just waste away.
Literally.
I don't know. Unless Ratma gets you.
All hell Ratma.
But yeah, so they go through there. She borderline knows more than this fucking tour guide, saying all the fun like little
things about it, about what the walls says and all that.
And then they're like, we need to get through. And then there's just conveniently this weird ass fucking man sitting there going, you need to find Papillon. Like,
go find Papillon.
I don't know what that accent was. I'm sorry.
I liked it. I really liked it.
I'm stuck on my House of Gaga.
The Gucci.
House of Gucci.
House of Gaga. Gucci. Father, son. House of Gucci.
Gucci.
We'll also be covering that horror movie.
Yep.
What a horror.
But essentially, they're told they need to find Papillon, and
but also too. So this guy who appears out of nowhere tells them they need to find Papillon, and then the tour guide comes back and is like, "Please follow, please rejoin the group." And then they look back and he's gone. So it's like already we're starting with the
they're being led down there. They're literally being like called and herded.
Yeah.
Down there throughout the entire film. That's like,
it's very true.
What happens. And so that's the start of it.
Yeah. And so after this, we go on the search for Papillon.
We flash to some fun France nightclubs.
Yes. Which I was like digging the vibes.
That looked, I mean, I was like, okay. And I also feel like kind of every not every found footage, but I feel like that's a very kind of almost standard scene now for a lot of found footage. Yeah. Like you're just kind of walking through it.
Or like strobe lights, dark lights kind of thing. People just like,
yeah.
Y'all can't see what I'm doing, but I'm dancing.
Yeah. I liked it. It was a cool scene though. But this is where we first get weird ghost girl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That Benji sees.
I just thought maybe she was like a weird model at first, and then she just kept popping up.
And it's the way that she also just like she makes eye contact with that camera. She's just
every
like
time
looking at you in your soul. She
is like, bitch, I'm gonna kill you.
Ratma literally got to her.
Yeah. She's spreading the word. She has a little baby or something later.
And so we get inside and we go through the club and she finds Papillon, who is chilling with his girlfriend Suxi.
Was that Suxi there?
She was there next to him.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I didn't realize who that was.
Whenever Scarlett is like, we were told that you could get us into the catacombs and show us around. He's like, do I look like a tour guide?
She's like, do I look like a tourist?
She's literally,
bitch,
for real. She pulls out the map. This is what I'm looking for. So she's essentially tells him like, we know of like a chamber that nobody has ever been to.
And there's treasure.
There's treasure there. And that really intrigues Papillon. And then he's like, can I have it? And half of it.
I can have, please.
Can I have half of it? And
money, please.
And she's like, you can have all of it. But I love the way that George comes.
He's like,
he's just like, no, you can have half. Half is fine.
Half is fine.
Half is fine.
We're going to at least get some of this for ourselves. For real. She's like, I just want the information, which I just want the truth.
Yeah.
Literally the last words of the movie.
And so I guess essentially he agrees.
Yeah.
And we cut to the next day.
I don't know why I wrote this, but I was like, George is like so very clearly in love with Scarlett.
Oh, yeah.
He is obsessed with her.
It's the way that...
Just any part, he's just like...
Yeah, and even like in this beginning part where it's like, he keeps obviously saying, I'm not going to go down there. I'm not going to... But like is literally...
But he keeps going.
The entire... And I'm just like, oh my God, this boy.
Yes, you are, sir.
What's this happening?
Curiosity got the best of you.
Definitely.
He wants to know, and he ain't about to leave her alone. He's like, oh, fuck, I got her back again.
Right?
I can't go leaving her alone.
Breaking my heart.
Essentially, then we get to the van scene where we meet the rest of the crew. So we get an official introduction to Suxi and then Zed. And
Zed's not dead.
Yep. And Papillon and them are rapping.
Yeah,
some beatboxing.
And then he gives his De Niro
impression. Yeah.
So it's just kind of like...
They're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, shooting
the shit. They're having fun. It kind of humanizes them.
That's what I was thinking too. As like they're trying to give you like something to like care about these characters, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's a little funnier. He's cute. Look how adorable.
Yeah. And then Suxi is letting us know like pretty much about all the complications. She's saying like, you know, if your batteries go out and you don't have light, you're dead. If you lose your food, you're dead. If you get injured, you're dead. Yeah. Like no matter what.
Benji's like, is it dangerous? Dead. And she's like, heck yeah.
Is it dangerous? Yes, it's dangerous.
And so it's the way that they are getting all their gear up. They're kind of all meeting each other situation. And then
They are not discreet about going underground.
No, not it's the way. And it's the way they're like, we have to do this quick. If the police see us, we'll all be in big trouble. And it's the way that
In the mid daylight,
just like
you're going underground. The time doesn't matter.
Pulling back a fence, like, oh, that is true, right? When did they have done that at night?
Yeah,
that is Now that
dumb.
I think about it, they were ready.
and the way that Poppy's like standing, I'm gonna call him Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy.
He's just standing there like at the fence, like he looks so shady.
Yeah,
his like little eyes. He's like looking around.
You next. I mean, obviously, y'all look like y'all are up to no good.
Yeah,
and they all have backpacks on.
Yeah,
like
someone clearly ended up reporting them.
So they get to the catacombs, the entrance at least, and so they're all putting on like their little light headbands,
and we have oh wait, not yet.
And so it's at that point where even Benji is still like, I'm not going down there. I'm just gonna take you as far as like George. Sorry, my bad, George. I'm just gonna only go so far. But they end up going into the little entrance to the catacombs, and they're like, we're gonna go through this little hole right here.
Yeah. So they're in a railway, a train tunnel. Yeah, is where they are, and we get the important scene of Papillon tagging his name on the wall because that does come into play a little bit at the beginning. Yes. And Benji's now also installed cameras on some of their headlamps, which is very helpful for the angles in the film.
Get other perspectives.
Yeah, get a little bit of first person POV. But yes, they found this little tiny hole and they're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like this is where we're going down?
Well,
okay. Okay.
Yeah, especially, was it Benji or someone? I remember one of them was just like, what?
Yeah, I think it was Benji. Yeah. Benji the whole time was kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, especially here in a minute. And so, it's the way that they're about to go down the hole, and then Papillon, right? He gets fucking sacked, and that's
like that was like a football tackle. And he was like, boom.
Yeah, and it's also a jump scare, so it's kind of like.
Because out of nowhere, all of a sudden, there's just chaos.
Literally. And that happens a lot through the film, actually. And so he gets sacked, and then everybody's like, go through the hole, get away, because they're trying to get away from those police officers.
And then it forces George to go underground with them.
Because George ain't going back to jail. If he's going to do a lot of things, but he's not going back to jail.
Yeah. And he's now underground, and we figure out why he is not a fan of being in a cave.
Yes, that's right.
And it's because...
And it's the way that, like, Scarlett's a horrible fucking friend.
Yeah. Like, just come on, it's fine.
It's fine. So
and he's got some serious trauma. His his little brother drowned in a cave when he was younger.
Yeah, well, then he was with him, so he shares that experience, that trauma, but he's the one that made it out alive. So I'm sure there's, like, so much...
There's got to be so much guilt.
Survivor guilt, like, just trauma.
He just says, like... my little brother died, like, waiting for me to come back. And like, that's not his fault. Like, I mean, he was pinned. Yeah. From what it sounds like. And it's sad. It definitely not his fault.
Yeah. And it's also,
but I can understand how he
and that's
pins
why I'm
it on
just, like,
himself.
also thinking, I'm like, Scarlett's like, you damn hoe. Like, what? Like, are you kidding me? You knew
that's
all
some,
of
like,
this.
Serious trauma.
Yeah. And it's the way because it's like, she knew this, and then because Benji's like, wait, why is he like, why did
I say something wrong?
Yeah,
because he was like, you really don't like caves, man, do you?
Yeah. And then that's whenever she tells Benji, and it's the way that she delivers it, like, just so nonchalantly. Oh yeah,
you didn't know.
You didn't know. It's fine. His little brother died, though. It's okay.
That's like casual.
It's okay.
If it's not someone directly in relation to her, she doesn't seem to actually care.
Yeah.
Like when Suxi dies.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, you guys. And so we get more.
George is freaking out, rightfully so.
George is not having a good time. He's not having fun.
He's having like a panic attack, essentially.
Yeah.
And then
mild. Yeah.
They're like, he's definitely like hyperventilating and stuff. And then they start going into the cave.
Yep. There's no choice, only to go further.
Mm-hmm.
So they go down. They're walking for a bit, right?
Yeah, they're walking for a good amount of time. They see Papillon's signature.
That's right.
His little tag.
Classic Pop.
Yep. He's like, pop, pop. He smacks the wall. And then he just like casually goes like, hot candles. Means people are down here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And they walk past those women, right?
Yes.
Which was super...
The weird chanting, singing. And I think that's the ghost girl.
Yeah,
she was the lead girl.
Yes.
Leading them.
But and so like
Their
obviously
eyes are, like,
they're
painted
they're,
red.
they're all ghosts, right?
It's
or
like a
dead.
cult.
They're all
Yeah.
dead. There's no way that that's just random people. They're just like
Or maybe they're just actual people, like they're
cultists, yeah.
yeah, and they're
Actual-
like trying to lead people into hell. Maybe, and they're
It
getting
could be.
eternal life.
But it's
I
the
don't
way that
know.
I'm just like, how are we like? That is so terrifying to think of, going into a cave system that you think like, oh, I'm alone, but then you get there, there's like some other fucking like,
There's like 6 people there, and they doing some weird shit.
yeah, some ritualistic
Weird.
like
Because it was like this weird chanting that turned into like some very like almost dissonance, but then not singing. Like,
yeah.
because it actually sounded really cool. It just was terrifying.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I mean,
just
if I
that
was
very,
experiencing
like,
it,
Gregorian chant.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting. And yeah,
But
we're ghost girls there.
And it's the way that like, yeah, Pop is just like, oh yeah, there's some
Happens
weird
every day.
There's some weird people down here. Don't mind them. It's
Yeah.
okay. They won't mess with us.
Casual.
And so, yeah, they're going further. Remind me again, is this like
So they get to the point where essentially,
they have to decide which way to go, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
it's option 1 is crawl over bones,
Mhm.
or option 2 is go through bad tunnel that has been boarded
Deemed,
up
yeah.
and deemed evil.
Yeah.
And Papillon says like that tunnel is bad, like that tunnel is evil, like bad, like people go in that tunnel.
And
People
don't
who go
return.
in that tunnel don't come out.
Yeah, and that's when we get the little story, which comes. It's important because that's when he's like, they have a friend who was called Letoot, right? What's his name? Letoot.
Letope.
Letoot. Letoot. Letope. Sorry.
Which literally translates to the mole.
The mole, yeah, because they're like, we had this friend, he was the mole, and he basically lived down here, and
he
would
knew every
nook and cranny of that place, but he didn't know or never went down that
because he
evil
knew it was evil.
corridor or whatever. Yeah, and so, but then one day he just had to go, and they haven't.
People I think were pressuring him is kind of what it felt
Probably.
like. He said like people kept saying, well, you have to. And yeah, so he went, and then he was never seen again.
Yep.
And for like 2 years, this motherfucker
yeah,
has
been
supposedly
missing.
been missing.
And so that comes into play really, really heavily here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're kind of Scarlet and Poppy are having a little bit of like a, dispute about like, well, we're gonna go this way or I'm gonna go that way. And so like ultimately they decide to follow Papillon down the
Bone tunnel.
That's not the evil tunnel. 'Cause
Yeah.
somehow that's better.
Benji not about it.
Benji's not about it. He's like,
I gotta climb
do
up these
not want to do
bones."
this. No. And
Which-
I mean, it's very tight. Like, there's not that much space. You
The
gotta
way
go
he
over all
said
the
you have to
bones.
crawl over it so you don't get cut
By the bones?
both by the
Yeah.
bones. And I was like, oh,
I didn't know bones could cut you like that.
I imagine they're pretty
They're
strong, huh?
right? I mean, they keep us up right all the
Yeah.
time.
And if they was a little splintered or something, I imagine that shit could cut you.
Oof.
Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
I don't
Little
know.
shank made
I
out
mean,
of
don't people use like bones as
that's
knives?
Right, knives, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I guess it could easily cut you.
I guess I never think about that. I guess I also don't ever
Why don't
really
you think about bone knives
I
all the
don't-
time?
I don't also think about crawling over bones.
Ah,
I think
yeah.
that's the more thing. And you would think like, because I mean that's an actual knife, so it's like sculpted to be sharp or whatever.
sharpened.
And these are literally just like femurs and like
There's a bunch of
tibias and
femurs.
arms. And
I didn't
legs.
see many hip bones.
Yeah, no, not a lot of skulls and femurs.
Mike, did they put your hip bone in there? He said yes.
And so yeah, they're climbing over these bones. They're all kind of getting through it, and then
Zed's a dick, and he
Oh,
plays that
that's
little
right.
trick on him.
that like he's getting taken by something. Or
Yeah,
something
then he's
got
like,
him.
I'm just fucking with y'all.
And
Which like
Benji's
didn't
the
help
main
poor
one who's like,
Benji.
that is not cool, man.
Yeah.
And so they're going through it, and poor Benji. I mean, he already did not want to do it, but he gets not that he gets caught, but like it starts collapsing.
Well,
or-
no, he does get caught. So the way that
okay.
he moved his body, that essentially he kind of like scooped the bones up
Yeah.
too far, and that's why Scarlet is telling him to move backwards, so
Yeah.
that way he can flatten out the bones again. So essentially, he did get
okay.
caught, but then it also does start collapsing.
Yes.
And as he's stuck,
just
the weird
happens so
singing
fast.
comes back.
Yeah.
And Benji starts like hyperventilating, and he's like, "Tell them to shut the fuck up! Like, why are they singing?"
He's just not having it. It's not his day.
And he says like something bit him and
That's right.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which has got to be like terrifying. So because he was the last person going
So
through.
it's like nothing should be behind me or nothing should be.
Yeah. And then hearing that singing coming from behind you and not being able to see what's happening back there.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Would you be? I'm a middle person. I would always think of like I gotta have 2 people ahead of me, 2 people behind me. I'm not gonna be the first person. I'm not gonna be the last person. Like where would you place yourself?
When I go hiking and everything, I'm always the first person.
The first person.
Yeah. I like to see, but then like also like with snakes, if you're hiking and stuff, the first person like wakes it up, disturbs it, the second person gets bit.
The bite. See, I hate.
So I sacrifice everyone else.
You know what? Okay, Scarlett.
Get behind me.
So I usually. Yeah, if I ever go hiking with someone, I'm probably first, and I hate being first secretly. And so sometimes I'm like, no, you go ahead, you go and lead, because they walk into the spider webs first.
That's true.
I hate fucking spider webs.
Yeah.
I hate.
We just need to get you a little torch,
something,
to burn them all up.
A machete, a bone knife.
Yep, a bone knife. There we go. Anyways, Benji's stuck. The tunnel does start collapsing, and they are forced very quickly through to the other end. Which ends up being where they started crawling in at.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah. And so that's when they're like, Papillon especially is like, this is not right. Like, it's not how it should have gone. Obviously, because he's been through it before. And
essentially, to me, it feels like the tunnels are changing.
Yeah. Like Harry Potter. Once again, we're getting the staircase. Everything's changing. And so,
things are being manipulated around them. And like forcing their hand essentially
to where they want to go, where they're being led to. Yes,
they're forced to go into the evil tunnel.
And also too, I think that scene also set up for what comes into play later. Scarlett, George, and Benji's already like mistrust of Papillon, you said you knew, but you really don't know where you're going or this or that.
And then they get into the tunnel and they see Poppy's tag on the wall.
And then they're like, you fucking
what
liar.
The fuck?
You said you've never gone down here. And he's like, I haven't. Like, I've never been here.
Yeah.
And so,
it's what George says, like, it's just so people are just randomly spray painting your name on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
they don't believe it.
They weren't having a shit.
And then right in these moments where they're like trying to figure this out, that's whenever the ring, right?
Yes. The phone starts ringing. And I wrote, like, I remember the first time that I heard that scene and like watched it, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
No, at that time too, I would be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like nothing is worth.
Because then they like tried to kind of explain it away. Like there were some phone lines.
The telephone lines used to run down here.
And then they were like, but in the 50s, they took them all out.
Yeah,
or the 70s or something.
Yeah. And
so there's no way that could have been happening.
It's the way that he finishes that line and then the phone rings. And it's like perfect timing. And it's also
it is literally calling them into the tunnel.
Oh, I didn't think about it that way, but
it is calling them.
It really is. I like the placement of how like that line that he delivered and then like the phone rings. Also, I didn't mention earlier, but there's when they were at the bell tower and George first fixed those bells and he's talking to her and they're looking out in the crowd. The bell stops like belling right as he delivers his last line to her, and I just like the way that like in that scene I just like the way that sound production made that work. I don't know. So back to this over here. Yeah, they go down and they're following the telephone ring and they see a phone, right? No, not yet.
They've
right.
not
found
it.
The piano.
Yeah, so they get to a little plaque, and this is where the collapses come back into play.
Yes.
And he goes, this is where one of the collapses happened, and where they were kind of talking, and he was like, literally hundreds of people fell to their death right here, right where we're standing, and then 50 more, the people who went to rescue them, all disappeared as well. So essentially, there should just be a fuck ton of bodies down there, which I guess, there are, but like.
Do you think they're all ghosts or demons?
Maybe.
Or that's just crazy to think about too. Like a whole ass, like imagine you're just minding your business and then dead.
Just,
or just in the ground. And maybe if you don't die in that instantly, like you're then just there suffering underground in the dark. That's
it's
crazy.
So scary.
Yeah.
But yes, then they find the piano and they were like, how'd they get a piano down here? And then someone was like, maybe it fell in the collapse. And I was like, there's no way
that it would still be intact.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah.
Like that's
same.
the only thing perfectly placed up against the wall. Like no.
It's the way that it's the same with the telephone wires. Like there's no rationalizing this, you guys. This
Yeah.
is some like
This is just
some
weird.
shit. And so it's the way that George is the one that's called to the piano, and he's like,
we had the same exact piano.
when I was a little kid, when me and Danny used to play this song.
My Bonnie lies over the ocean.
That's such a weird name for a song.
Oh,
Did you know?
it's a-
Do you know
Yes,
that
I know
song?
that song.
What is it?
It's like a Scottish
Oh,
song, and we had to sing it a lot in choir.
oh, that's
and
interesting.
Stuff. It's like my Bonnie lies over the ocean, my Bonnie lies over the sea. And that's where the A4 key comes
Yes.
in, because he's like, we had the same one. We could never finish the song because the A4 key was
fucked up.
And I was like, well, this one's gonna be fucked up too.
And sure enough,
He plays the little song,
Little ditty.
doop, and then
ew.
da 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 bop bop bop. The C is out, and
Yeah.
he's like, and then he's kind of like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's some real fucking trippy shit.
Yeah.
At that point, I would have been like, no. And so the past is
They're
they're dropping
haunting them.
little
Yeah.
clues that their past is
Subtleties.
coming back to haunt them. Just constantly, these little things are being sprinkled in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then the phone rings again.
that's right.
Scarlett bolts. Scarlett's like, I'm
not
gonna
getting
go
this
answer
one.
this goddamn phone.
Yeah,
She runs off.
She does.
Everyone's like, what the Scarlett?
Scarlett
like,
does that a couple times later
Yeah.
too. Yeah. And so
no regard for anyone else.
gets to, or even her own life.
Yes.
I mean, gets to the telephone.
She found the phone.
It's a little red, like old time phone, like
Mhm.
that has like the cord and everything.
And the little, did it have one of those
I
dial?
think it was a dial.
Yeah, those little spinny dials.
They're so cool.
They are.
Why are they so cool to me?
I don't know. They're cute.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to even use one.
You gotta
You-
go to the number and then you wind it back
Stop
each time.
And
And you go.
that's
Yeah.
so much work.
It is a lot of work.
Oh my gosh. I was trying to call
As
you.
compared to like
when you're dying back then and trying to call someone to like save your life. Wait, fuck. Like imagine, like I can only imagine like doing like the wrong number would be such
fuck,
a
I
fucking
put 912.
What do you do? Just like and then go again? Like that's so
Yeah, I
crazy.
guess so.
And so yeah, she finds it. She picks up and there's a voice on the other end and
Saying essentially, why won't you talk to me, Scarlett? Why won't you talk to me? And at this point, you can kind of infer that
Yeah.
it's her father, but I don't know if you would, because at first you don't really realize that hanging person was
Yeah.
her dad.
because that's something that we know after the fact now of watching the film.
Yeah.
So
And so-
you are like, like what?
This is definitely a film that
I'm
like
trying to remember how I felt when I first watched that.
watched twice.
Because I watched it in 2014 the first
Mhm.
time, and I'm trying to remember like how, because now going into it, I mean, I already knew what I knew, so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's obviously her dad's voice, but yeah, I don't. But regardless, if you're just fucking answering a phone in a cave system underneath where there should be no phones, and you just hear someone saying, "Why won't you fucking talk to me?" Like
yeah,
that's
and you hear
creepy
your
as-
name.
That's yeah,
like
that's
why
fucking creepy as fuck.
does someone or something know your name? That's not that's a it would
Red
be
flag.
unsettling.
Red
yes.
phone, red flag, all red. Scarlet, her fucking name is Scarlet.
Yep, and that also comes into play with the stone being red and her being the stone.
And then her being covered in blood later.
Mm-hmm. So,
I didn't
anyways,
think about that. Oh yeah.
yeah, I wrote that
Wow.
note down. But Latote
Lat-
comes back,
Latute pops up out of nowhere.
and they were
It's
like,
how creepy he looks when he's like right there behind the rock. And he's like, "You should not be here."
yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like a mole.
Yeah.
Like, and this was the part that really I was like, this reminds me of Ratma in '94.
Yeah. And his eyes were like, they gave him like the big black contacts, like you right? Because they were like way.
They looked way dilated because he's been
Yeah.
underground.
That's and he's seeing all
Essentially,
the
he's
light.
nocturnal and
That's
stuff. Like,
true. Like those
He's been
little cute
blind.
marsupials that have the big eyes, and they're
Mhm.
like,
yeah, that was him.
"Aw, a mole,"
He was a mole, yeah. And so
which is not a marsupial. Sorry.
they are saying like
Yeah, like they're shocked to see him,
Yeah.
right? Like he's still alive. What the
'Cause-
fuck? And then Papillon's like, "You've been down here, like, for whatever." And then
he's saying they shouldn't be here, and then he's saying for 2 years y'all never searched for me. For 2
Yeah.
years no one came, and it's like, oh shit.
yeah,
So maybe that's a little bit of their past coming back too.
yeah,
for
I feel that. Do you feel like maybe it's also maybe even more of
Souksies.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, we're that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, yeah. So they essentially start following Latute because obviously homeboy's been down here and he's like, y'all are trying to get out, right?
Yeah,
I'll
he
show you the
says
way. And
only way out is
it's
down, he
going
says.
down. And which makes sense, but also too, it's the way that I'm like, why the fuck
Would
are
y'all
we
listen to
following
this?
the guy who never got out
Yeah.
about how to get out?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it
Doesn't
just, the
make
logic
sense.
is not there.
Also, no way homeboy could have been alive for 2 years.
Yeah, obviously
Like,
there's like, he is not normal.
uh-huh.
He is either a ghost or a demon or being used by a demon. Like that's just no longer his body. It's just the shell kind of thing. So
Yeah.
essentially he leads them to that little opening and is like, we have to go down to go.
And
go
essentially,
out.
it looks like a well.
Yeah, it's a well, basically, like a little chute. And he's saying like they have to go down. And I mean, they throw a little rock, they hear it hit the bottom. And then
Like, we can get down that.
so they set up their equipment. Thankfully, they had equipment, and they have these ropes that they use to start climbing down.
And rappel down, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Benji, we get a little bit of foreshadowing into his death.
Yes.
And he falls down the well.
While still holding on to the rope. So
His hands get fucked.
This is the way
His
that
clip
like
breaks.
I would his what?
His little clip.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
That's not
his
what
clit.
it broke.
His clit got broken.
It smashed.
R.I.P.
And so, yeah, it's the way that, man, I can't imagine the feeling. I've never done that before. Have you had like ropes like cut your hand like that?
No, because I am terrible at climbing ropes. Like at the end when Scarlett has to like go all the way up that rope by herself, I was like, I could never.
Oh.
I could literally never do that.
Yeah, my
Also, we never had like gym class or anything where they
you
made
had to
us
do
climb
that,
ropes.
like how they do in movies and films
Yeah.
and TV shows.
Also, that has to have been like so dangerous.
That-
You're like
you-
letting a kid climb to the ceiling. What if they let go and fell?
Yeah, that sounds like a head injury or death about to happen.
Yeah, like
Broken bones.
how did the school not have more lawsuits? I don't know.
And so they rappel down. What's his name? Benji falls almost. Was George already? George was still in the middle of it, right? Still
Yeah,
trying to get down.
he
Yeah,
basically falls onto
on
George's head.
George, yeah. And then
Thankfully, that's what saves him
Yeah.
in that moment.
and
is-
then shout out to George.
yeah.
And then they finally get to the bottom, and then it's kind of like this open chamber room.
And yeah, and they are having to crawl over some sort of like it's like a little water system.
That's right.
I don't know what there's
Yeah,
like
I couldn't. Was this the part where they stopped hearing, right?
yes.
Yes.
So it gets all muffled. It sounds essentially like they're all underwater. It's kind of
and
the
it's the
vibe
way
it
that
gave
they're
me.
all looking at each other because they all feel it, hear it, not hear it. They're like, I can't hear you, you know. And the movie too does good of like making the sounds that are happening right now sound underwater and muffled, and then
It's very inaudible.
and then we get chaos.
Yeah, there's this like weird ear-shattering kind of rumbling / alarm that all of a sudden
Yeah.
goes off, and it forces them to run deeper into the cave. Is essentially what's happening.
But while that's all happening too, they see the little boy, right?
We get a little glimpse of a little boy
some little ghost boy
who you can assume is
that
George's brother.
So, do you know what I thought? Because George's brother was the one that later on we see him come into play, but I didn't think that was George's brother. I think that's Zed's kid.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it was George's brother.
Just because, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not a doubtle.
They just saw, they see a little boy though, and then Lataupe, like, they go, what the hell was that? And he was
He's
like,
like,
not what was that, but who?
Why is that?
Yeah, and
why
it's like,
is Gamora?
Ooh. And so that's pretty unsettling. But they are now into this room,
Yeah.
in which the puzzle comes back into play, the original one, where we're now, it says a winged vulture leads your way.
Yes.
And they find,
And this was very like fucking national treasure. Yes.
yeah, so they find this inscription on the wall, which has the winged vulture, and they do some other things. There's a Ptolemaic hinge, and AKA the way she was describing it at first, I was like, that just sounds like a fucking booby trap.
Yeah.
But it was a way that in Egypt they would hide the tombs,
Hide the tombs, yes,
and
of their pharaohs.
yeah, and so that way, if you knew and were like smart enough, I guess, and knew like you were supposed to be in there, you could gain access. But if you weren't,
So that way
any wrong move would kill you.
Yeah.
It would cover you in rubble.
Because like what pharaohs used to bury themselves with their treasures and stuff and all their riches, so people would want to go steal. Yeah.
And I really enjoy the amount of like the history and stuff like that's like all the when they're like Copernicus and talking about the solar system and which parts had been discovered, and like at that point in time the sun and the moon were considered planets but the earth wasn't, and
that's right.
they were like at this point only 6 had been discovered, and then after everything it's 7.
You get all these like tidbits of information,
and 7 is the amount that 7 they need to pull the 7th stone in order to make this Ptolemaic hinge.
And that's what they do.
Yep.
Pull the stone out, and then
and I don't know how accurate any of that information is, but
right.
I was a fan of it. I was like, sold.
Yeah.
I believe you.
And then the little tomb, they have a little tomb open.
I was like, Jesus in here.
That's
or something.
literally what I thought of, because it was like the circle thing that.
And it just rolls
Easter,
away.
you know, you hear every Easter
And
Sunday.
you put Jesus in that little hole. I put stone rolled away like Jesus or some shit.
Yeah, literally. That was my thought as well. And then we get into it. Yeah. And there is Nicholas Flamel's body
And
laying on a slab.
And perfectly preserved.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he's dead, but it's like.
And has been for 700 years.
There's no rotting or like anything. Like I
he
mean, he don't look alive, but he don't look
He looks
dead.
a little gray.
Yeah, but he's not rotted.
He needs some like glow drops or something
little bit.
on his
little Fenty Beauty. Just a little, what is
highlight.
Glossier.
Glossier, yeah.
Glossier, my bad. Glossier, I'm learning.
But they see, so not only is Flamel there, they also see the word vitriol,
yes,
which is essentially meaning the as above, so below. It's the like
it's
alchemy
the
kind of saying word. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like saying of alchemy. I don't know. And then it essentially goes to the as above, so below. As I see the world, it is how I perceive it, which comes back into play later.
Yes.
But this is where Benji again is like, because she's like the darkest light or the brightest light and darkest day.
Yes.
Or something like that.
That's the clue. And so she asks everybody to turn off their lights.
Their headlamps. And Benji's like, I didn't turn on my headlamp. There's a dead body right here.
Literally.
Like, he's like, no, are you fucking crazy?
And then 2.5
anyways.
seconds later, everybody's lights are off. Yes. And then they see a little glowing light coming from, which is what is basically like a little water.
Yeah, like a little
pocket. I don't even know, like a puddle basically, but not. And so, it
was like a dug.
It was purposely made. Yeah. It was dug out. There was water on it, and then they see this glowing light coming from the bottom, so she starts pulling out rocks with Papillon. And then it's the way at this point too where I was like, Scarlet, just be taken off and like, I'm gonna go, and they're like, no, but, and like 3 seconds later she's already in the water.
Yeah,
you get the
because you don't know. You don't know where it leads to.
Well,
you could be underwater the whole time and just die.
Literally, I'm like, you don't know how much air you need to have. You don't know like where.
Hopefully, she can hold her breath for 3 minutes, like Deep House lady.
Deep House girl.
I guess she can, because she gets through.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that long of a swim.
No. And so they get to the other side, and it's this. Everybody comes in, and it's a room that has treasures behind a bar.
Yes.
Like what would you call that? Like a
it almost looks like a jail cell.
Think of a jail cell, but filled with treasures. And so
we're in Gringotts now.
We're in Gringotts, literally all the callbacks. And so Bellatrix's vault. And so and then what's her name? Scarlet and George see what is it? Like a mural?
Yeah,
I would say it's
essentially
a mural
inscriptions.
The love between
the sun.
Or
no, the love between the sky and the earth.
There we go. Yes.
And so the birth of the sun, and how they were pushed apart and could only touch by the tips of their toes and their fingers. Hands.
Yeah. And so
every day she gives birth to the sun, and then at night swallows him back up. I liked that. I thought that was real poetic.
Beautiful. And so she's deciphering all of this and that, and then they see the stone, right? And the mural, and so she takes it out.
It's the sun being swallowed back up.
Yeah. Takes the stone out, and then at the same time, Papillon and I guess Zed
They're trying to
Just
break into
those
that
two.
treasure.
Yeah, they're trying to get the treasure, so they're breaking like the metal bars, like
the thing that clearly says "stay out."
Yeah, and so because it's there for a reason, and
Mhm.
so
And too late, she realizes the
Mhm.
treasures are a trap.
yeah, literally, because she's like, it's a trap, and then as soon as they pull that shit down, the whole room starts collapsing.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Yeah, and
They are
so
covered in rubble.
that's where everybody's just freaking out, trying to like make sure everyone's okay. And then we see that Suxi is they have to pull her out of the rocks because she's got
She
buried by
got
them a little bit,
trapped.
and she's got this gnarly cut on her arm. And so
And at this point, they've lost all their packs in the mix too. So they were like, "Do you have any first aid?" And so they are now without first aid, no food, no batteries. And I put essentially everything Suxi had warned them about
Yeah.
in the beginning. And I was like, also known as they're gonna die.
And it's funny because they were missing all that, but then at the beginning she also said, "And if you're injured, you die." And she was the one that was injured.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it really called it back. Like there's so many little callbacks
Mm-hmm.
just throughout this.
And it's the way that you do have to watch it as many times as I did, because it's like, oh, I didn't even like.
Yeah, if you're not
Yeah.
paying attention, like for split second, you could have missed
Lose
something
that.
so
You lose
that becomes rather
nuance.
important
Yeah.
in the film. Yeah, or
And-
you're just gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
And so
which
which
I
you
like.
still were kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
They what were you gonna say you liked?
Oh, I like movies that make you have to
yeah.
think.
Yeah. And so
Like I don't want just some mindless. I mean, sometimes I do, but like I enjoy ones that really like you have to get into
you have
the
to use
movie.
your brain. You have
Mm-hmm.
to like solve something that's going on. They
But then, so they say that the stone
yes.
has all these
The healing
powers.
powers.
Yep.
Whatever.
So essentially, Scarlet just takes a little bit of the stone and like
goes
sprinkles
there like Salt Bae.
like the Salt Bae, yeah, onto
Yeah.
the
Literally.
under her little wound, and then
And then it heals. Yeah. And then that's when they're all like, whoa, like what the heck? Which I would be too. I mean, someone's arm just like magically heals in front of me.
I mean, because that motherfucker was like borderline.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you could see the bone.
And so that gets healed, and now they are. What happens at this point?
They're looking for a back door.
That's right.
They were like,
There's always
"There's no
another
way
Yeah.
they would have built this with a trap and then still not had a way out."
Mhm.
Yeah, and this is where I put roll credits because we find the image of I'm assuming as Flamel depicted. He looks like fucking Merlin or some shit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Dumbledore. And
Could be both of them.
but this is where we get it is essentially the inscription, meaning as above, so below. And then she goes through saying all the different things. And this is where the, as I believe the world to be, so it is,
Yeah.
comes really into play. And she says it right there. And they see this door carved on the ceiling. There was some sort of inscription that means door. And they were like, but why would they put that there? And then they put two and two together
Yeah.
that, oh, like as above, so below.
Yeah.
And then there's a door
Below them.
on the floor.
Yeah.
Floor door.
Floor door.
And it's like they gotta who Poppy is like, we can't go down, like we are
Yeah.
at the base of the caves. And she's like, bet, bitch.
And so she just starts whacking at it.
Yeah.
And then all the water starts going through. So she's
Which
like,
I'm like,
and it's the way that she's like, if we were where's the water going?
yeah.
Huh? Tell me about that, huh?
'Cause I'm right, you're wrong. Yeah. And also like, okay, what I'm imagining it's got, you know, that real like flaky rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
that's-
breaks apart when you touch it.
Yeah, and it's got like the little silver specks in it and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it had to be made of that shit or something because she
probably.
just bangs on it a few times
And
with
it
the
just
rock and
breaks
it's like
away. Yeah.
like a little eggshell or something.
Not limestone.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, but limestone does break apart, doesn't it?
I
Like
don't
at
know.
Cameron Park, I think that's all lime. And like when you
Oh.
like, it's like flagstone.
And
it's like-
limestone is what the whole catacombs are made of.
yes.
That's what it said. So I guess, yeah, maybe it was.
Anyways,
I have
so
no clue.
we break through it, and we're not geographers.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Geographist, geography, geologist.
Geologists, yes.
They descend. So I was like, they have to descend further.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to a fun little inscription on
Oh, yeah.
and she's like, yo, can you read this? Conveniently, George
Of
can read
course,
it.
Right. All ye who enter here.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
There we go.
Which is known as the inscription over the gates of hell.
Mm.
And then she kind of goes in and she's like on her stomach, and then she looks back at him and she goes, and they should be made to crawl on their bellies to enter the kingdom of darkness. And George is like, yeah, that occurred to me too.
Yeah. Like, can y'all just fuck already?
For real. Yeah, they were like, I mean, high key, they were getting off on this info.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
I mean, it is really fucking cool.
And so they start crawling.
And Poppy's like, I'm not going in there. Are you fucking
yeah.
kidding me? The gates of hell? And then he goes in there.
Literally. That's everybody.
You don't really have a choice.
At this point. Because
Yeah.
it's either just do something to try to get out or just sit there and die.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
And so they're crawling through. And at this point,
They get through, and it's the same room.
Yes,
but
that's
now
right.
everything is
Everything's
upside
flipped.
down.
Yes, everything's flipped.
Oh, and did we mention earlier that we lost Latope in the rubble?
Oh, no, we didn't mention it. So
Latope went bye-bye.
Went bye-bye. Yeah, he's no longer
And
with
poof,
him.
Gone.
But was he ever really with him, though?
Dun, dun, dun.
We're about to find out. And so it's the way that they get into the room, and it's the complete opposite of where they were before, that little treasure room. So that's whenever Scarlet starts noticing that, like, oh, it's a reflection of what
she's
we
like,
were
this
just
is a
in.
mirror.
Everything is upside down.
And I love here Poppy asks, he goes, are we dead?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, yeah, but you
Not yet.
will be.
And Scarlet's like, no, we're not dead. And so that's when she has
But like that, I felt like it was a very legitimate question.
Yeah, like, are we, this is some sort of afterlife? Because it's fucking weird.
Yeah, like, is this how everyone is led to hell or something? And yeah,
and so
it's wild.
She realizes that they have to go back the same way, like, essentially that they had gone in. So, it's basically reverse what happened just a while ago when they got to the treasure room. She goes and they dive underneath and they swim back.
And this scene, something's in the water with them.
Yeah, because
you can't tell what. I couldn't tell what.
No, yeah. This is the scene where it's like they all like. It seems like something was like sucking them in, like a water vortex. And I'm like, what's happening?
And there's like some screeching, and then the camera's just kind of glitching
Shaky,
a bit. It's like cutting black for a second. And then they emerge and they're all there. And it's like, oh, okay. Okay, we all good? Okay, we good.
Are we dead? And then, they end back up in Flamel's tomb area, but it's the way
crusty
that
looking
he
now.
is crusted. Like, he does it. He
cute.
seems more like he's been dead as opposed to just, like, recently tapped out.
Yeah.
And then we get a pan to Latoop, right? Latoop is just sitting there, head down.
Just being weird as fuck.
And so...
And that's the way I wrote, like, how the hell would he have gotten there?
Yeah, literally.
Like,
how? And it's the way that none of them are even like, well,
they're just like, oh, Latope,
we need to help him. Yeah.
And it's like,
and so that's when Susie,
be more afraid.
Yeah, is walking up to him, trying to be like, it's okay, like, hi, and hello, and he does the ultimate. Thank
Can
you
I give you my
back.
card?
Yeah, right. Can I give you my card, Ratma? Yeah, I'm gonna leave my card right here. Just give me a call. And so, yeah, it's the way that I think I was like looking down on my phone when this part happened, but it just happened so fast because he just like lunges at her.
And he motherfucker grabs her head
and just starts bashing her into the
all
ground.
Know, my favorite.
And it's the way that like Homeboy, in a matter of like at least 15 seconds, like murdered her just by like bashing her head.
Smashed her head, I think 3 times onto the ground, and her face was fucked. And it's the way she kind of looked gray almost immediately. I don't know. And this is where we find out that the stone can't bring back the dead.
Yeah.
It can heal, but if you're still alive.
But it can't bring back the dead, and she was dead very fast. And then the tube just kind of okay, bye. Just kind of yeets out of there.
They're just like, okay, bye.
Okay, and nobody's like, where'd he go? What's up? Like, it's just kind of like, she's dead now, so we got to move on.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no.
Which is, again, because like, this is why I said she doesn't seem to care if it's not someone, because like, Poppy is obviously clearly upset, and so is Zed.
Yeah.
And she's like, we have to go, which is true. Like, yes, there isn't anything you can do, but when Benji dies,
it's a whole
she's
different...
a fucking mess.
Oh my god, yes.
And it's like, and then they're telling her, we have to go, and it's like...
the way that, like, because I guess that she feels like, because I got the sense of, like, you're right, because she didn't really care when Suxi died. And then
she was just like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like, right, but
I'm sorry for your loss. Bitch, you knew her too.
But then,
you
like...
witnessed her get murdered.
They are here because of you. And I feel like she had that thought in her head for Benji, but not for her. But I'm like, it's the same thing. She's there because of you. And I feel like she felt like...
killed these people.
Yeah, you brought them down here.
Okay, Heather.
And they're dead. Yeah, for real. I'm so sorry.
I've killed all of them.
Yes.
And so they climb back through the Jesus hole, essentially. And as she emerges and they get into that room with the weird pillar where the Ptolemaic hinge originally was, she sees a noose hanging. Just briefly, she goes away from it and pans back and it's gone. And so we're getting another callback for her father. Like, okay, clearly this hanging person means something to her. They're really...
And at this point, you don't know still, so you're just like, huh. But you put it together because it's like, well, you know that he killed himself.
Yeah, we know that he went crazy in search of, which, like, at this point, she's going a little bit crazy too. Like, I mean, I would be if I was stuck in literal hell. They are in hell. And so they keep going deeper and deeper because they get back to the well.
Yes.
Again, they get back to the well. And she gets down and she hears someone yelling Scarlet. And they were like, is that Benji? And they were like, no. Yeah. And then we cut to Benji up top. And he's the last to go. Mm-hmm. And not working out in his favor.
No.
I would not want to be the last person at all.
And that was the same Ghost Girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Ghost Girl
the
is back again. He hears a baby cry too.
Yes. Here's a baby cry, and then that's whenever he essentially just gets pushed, right?
Yeah, she kind of
picked him up and threw him into it.
Shows her face. She has the baby in her hands.
Yeah.
She has a baby in her hands, and this is like one of the, I feel like, the most major jump scares, aside from maybe the stone people.
Yeah.
And it just like, she's just essentially like, boom.
And then he fucking...
Look at my baby, and he goes, ah!
And it's the way that he falls, like, through this hole and, like, hits the floor, like, ooh.
Homeboy, that was his brain split open on that limestone.
And that's whenever, like, we were talking about
R.I.P. Benji.
Scarlet. I'm about to call her Samantha. Miss Scarlet starts freaking out, because freaking Benji's dead. And
she's like hysterical,
freaking out. But it's also the way that I thought her crying sounded like laughing. It sounded like she was laughing to me.
She's like, I've killed you all.
And so then everyone else is like, we gotta go, like we gotta keep going, you gotta leave, like, because she's just like crying over his body essentially. And then
we get back to climbing over the bones.
Yes,
again.
That's right.
So we're climbing back through those bones, and that's when we get little bro.
Yeah. Little
bro hiding under the bones.
Under
George
the water
rightly freaking out, and is like, wait, like, stop, move the bones. Like, we got to get to that's my little brother. That's Dave, or whatever the fuck his name was. And Danny. Yeah. Something with a D.
It was Danny.
And they're trying to get to him, and then Scarlet, calms him down and is like, this isn't real. This isn't real
down here. Yeah.
Like, this, he's not there. And at this point in time, like, the way that she looks, like, I guess with the tears and sweat on her face, and the way that George looks after that, they were just I thought the actors did a fantastic job. Like, they killed it, looking absolutely fucking terrified.
Yeah.
They looked horrified.
Like, they're going through some fucking shit.
Yeah, I was trying to find if they, like, actually made him do anything, like, kind of like the Blair Witch. I couldn't find any information like that. But anyways, they hear more screams, and it's prompting them to go further. To me, I thought the scream sounded like Benji as he was falling down the well.
Okay.
But I think it's Poppy's brother.
Okay.
I'm assuming it was his brother in that burning car. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Or maybe just a kid.
A friend or something.
Yeah, killed his friend, and that's where the burn on his hand comes into play.
And then what was it? Benji had said way earlier, like, so why is what's up with that burn? How did Pop get it? And that's whenever Zed's like, oh, we do not talk about that.
Yeah, we don't ask him.
Don't ask.
And but we round the corner to this just spectacle of a car on complete fire, burning, with a person sitting in the back seat, looking just like he kind of makes eye contact,
turns to the right,
and Poppy is yelling. He's like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Yeah.
And then he starts getting sucked towards the vehicle.
That was funny.
Yeah. Oh, pretty funny.
It looked like he was on like a fucking treadmill or something.
Yeah.
And it was like moving him towards it. But whenever the guy grabs him, that was creepy.
Yeah, scary as fuck.
I was
fire,
like, ooh.
Just pulling him into it. And then he fall and get sucked into.
We get that weird.
Yeah, it's such a weird CG. Like the car just gets like shucked into the ground.
Just like the city got completely sucked up and swallowed.
And it gets put right like upside down. And so
and just his little feet are sticking out.
Yeah, so you literally just have Pop's feet just sticking out. Mm-hmm. So sad.
And they're pretty much just like, well,
I liked Pop.
Can't do nothing. Yeah,
I like Pop.
He was kind of funny.
Sad that he died, but also too he didn't face whatever it maybe was his fault. And because he's like, it wasn't my fault. He's not accepting the truth. He's not like actually like dealing with that shit.
Yeah,
just, like dead.
He's got
met your demise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so they end up then after this they're like, we gotta go again, because I mean obviously he just fucking died, and it's the way like you said, Scarlett has no like. She doesn't care. Mm-hmm. She didn't really care for him that much, and it's
because that's like we gotta go back. We gotta go back.
And she's like, no, we can't. We have to leave. Yeah.
And at this point, George is kind of like, okay, no, we really do. And they're running down that kind of hallway. They see that weird cloaked creature.
Oh my god, that scared me. Mm-hmm. Not scared me, but like I was like, oh, this is creepy.
It's like, ooh, fuck, because it's just this like hooded creature.
Yeah.
Humanoid, like walking past, and so they like run back and they go hide in that little. Alcove, I don't know. And then we get this nasty, the weekend turkey line is so gross. Like, what is it about like just being about to die that makes people confess their love?
Right?
Like, just fucking say it in person. Like, just say it in general. I don't know.
Bite the bullet.
He was like, the weekend turkey was the best week of my life. And she was like, mine too. And then Zed's just standing there like, awkwardly, what the fuck? Like, did y'all not just see that cloaked guy? Like,
we got to go.
We gotta get out of here.
And then George gets fucking attacked by a stone person coming out of the wall, right?
So I love the way that they just kind of like creep past the cloaked person, just like chilling in that chair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in that scene, and they're all just kind of like, yeah.
And then they're like hiding up against the wall, and then that stands up. And I will say, those stone people scared the shit out of me the first time.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Because that initial scene with that like
it's just like
and it glitches.
And then a lot of it too is like they're just like running past the camera, so you just see like really fast, like
because their faces were like in the walls. It kind of reminds me in like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina when she encounters herself in like the 3rd season. I don't know. It got bad then, but
yes,
it kind of gave me those vibes as well.
Because she's the Morningstar version of her.
They're like, and there's like a stone, and they're in the stone, or something.
Yes.
Anyways,
I remember now because she's challenging that other dude for the crown of hell.
Yeah, Calcifer. Nope, that's Hell's Moving Castle. Calcifer. Anyways, they were really fucking scary, and it essentially looks at like it was just people painted in gray and like in a gray hoodie.
Yeah, and low lighting. They were like, we're set
and running around. But it did scare me the first time, and George gets a big old
chunk of his neck just like fucking ripped out, and so they are like freaking out. They're dragging George.
Teeth are bones, and they can cut you.
That's true. They are dragging George like. On the like literally dragging him and running and pulling him, right?
And she realizes the stone isn't working. She's trying to
she's trying to use it, but it won't work again. And so that's when she's like putting it two and together, like what they read earlier.
Well, it's the way that motherfucker's dying, and he's like vitriol.
Vitriol, yeah. And
I was like, he says vitriol, like he's got time to solve riddles while he's bleeding
out. He's still trying. He's got to let her know, and because she wasn't thinking of it, and so that's whenever she's like figures out that this stone is like a trick stone, and she has to go.
She has to rectify it.
She has to rectify it, and just that word though. Oh my god, rectify! And she has to go put the stone back in order for her to get the actual real stone. And so it's the way that I'm thinking, this bitch is about to go literally. How is this girl gonna get all the way back when like essentially
it took them so long?
And this like,
she's like, I'll be right back.
A minute of the film is like just her going back. And then it's also too like there were certain things had collapsed, like certain doors like shut behind them. So it's like I'm thinking like, but you know, it's a movie, so Final Girl's got to do it. So
I love the way she face palms one of the stone people.
It's the way that I'm thinking too. I'm like, where did this super strength now? She's got super strength because she knocks out one of the rock people, just like pushes them back, and then also
she grabs her whole ass face and it's
just like yeets it. And then after that too, she has to climb up the rope, and I'm just like, what? Like, where did
I would never be able to.
I'm like, this has got to be the most like adrenaline, like, you know, flight, like
yeah, like moms picking up cars
because
kind of thing.
it's just like there's no logic, like what? So yeah, homegirl is doing everything she can to get
She's
back.
apparently like, I mean,
she swims through the water that they swam through earlier is now blood. It's no longer just water.
Oh yeah, she gets sucked into, like there's these bloody hands coming out and they're pulling her in, and we get the beautiful scene. I love that scene because it also gives us like one of the thumbnails for the movie, like and different. It's like one of the kind of iconic scenes, I feel like. But the blood scene's so good. I like it. And it's so scary. Like, I mean, the whole her going back by herself thing, like having to encounter all that by yourself is like, oh, nope.
So she finally gets back to the tomb, ¿verdad? And so
at first she also encounters her dad hanging again.
That's right. And
yet again.
It's this last time,
and she
right?
she touches because he's got like a sack over his head, like a pillowcase.
And she takes it off.
And it's her.
It's her, like, screaming at her.
Yeah.
But it happens very quick.
And then the floor is biting her.
Yes,
Did you realize?
there are, like
little
mouths
people.
on the floor.
Yeah. And then she dives back through the water from Flamel's grave
Yes.
into the treasure room. Treasure.
And, she's able to put back the stone.
And then she's like, where's the new stone? And then it's like a
mirror.
And she's covered in blood. Her name's Scarlet. She's red, just like the stone is, the Philosopher's Stone is. And she's like, oh, like, bitch, you the stone.
Yeah, she's the stone. Which also, too, it's just like, what? Okay. It's the way that they put that in, too, though. And I will say, I'm like, that doesn't give me, like, you're right, though. It's just, I mean,
I think it goes back to you control your own destiny, and like the world is how you want it to be. But essentially it's just saying, like, I mean, I guess because she has overcame all these things, that she's now given that. Yeah. And she's rectified herself. And so, but like, she's given this essentially superpower. I don't know.
And so, yeah, I would say it's
stone.
Superpower because she then is running to go find George or get back to the guys. And
somehow they're not dead.
Yeah, and then this is the point where she does meet her father, right?
Yes. So, well, first, she's running back. Yeah. And this is where we figure out she can kind of manipulate the world around her, because she's running back over that blood trough thing and the little hands, and then she goes, as I see the world, so it is, kind of thing. Yeah. And the hands retract. And then then she comes up to her father and she's like, I was like, bitch, do you got time to be hugging your dead dad right now?
Literally.
Like, she just hugs him and she's like,
it's crying. I'm so sorry I didn't answer.
Pick up the phone.
I didn't know you were in so much pain. And then he just disappears.
Which calls us back to the beginning, and she gets to say sorry, and it rectified her wrong. Yeah. And a lot of her guilt. Yeah. And then she makes it back to George, and he's like, did you get the stone? And she's like, yeah, I got it. And she just like kisses him.
Kisses him, that's right.
She's like, nah, nah, nah. And then he's better. Magic kiss. This Sleeping Beauty. Brought her back, back to life.
Snow White. And so, she's the stone. And that's when you realize that she's the fucking stone. Yeah. And it's just, and that for me, I was like, oh, okay. Okay. But that's pretty cool. Yeah. At that point, I'm like, all this time for a fucking stone, and it was inside you the whole time.
It's in you all along. Just believe in yourself.
Literally. And so then, she saves fucking George. He comes to, and then they're like, we need to get out of here, right? And so they get to another hole, and it's the way that she's just like, to get out, we have to throw ourselves in.
We have to rectify ourselves, and we have to jump.
Yeah. So she then is like, George, like, what is it that you're holding on to about Danny? Like, why? And then that's when we learned that he had told his brother that he was going to come bring back help, but his brother died waiting for him to get that help. Yeah, so because he got lost. Yeah. And he was, again, not his fault. Yeah. But he held on to it. And then out of nowhere, because we got to give Zed something. Yeah. He's just like, well, I have a child that I deny. I don't know him and I don't claim him. I know he's mine, though. And at that point, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that didn't seem very, like, as big of a deal. Yeah, like, honestly, but okay. Whatever. But, and then I'm also, too, like, why weren't no children, like, coming and attacking you the whole time? Where were your demons at? But, so that happens, and then they both, like, they all see the light or whatever. They rectify themselves, and then they jump. And it's, like, essentially, I get the vibe that, like, hell is, they're literally, like, being transported through a portal, like hell is spitting them out.
and it's just like blah.
That's a good way to see it.
And they are put into this room. They survive this
fall miraculously.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Gives me like Spy Kids vibes. Such.
What I said when I was watching it. Spy Kids 2. I love watch streams and they're just falling there forever.
And then they look up. Oh.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Well, I'd say about 3 hours now.
Wow. And hey, that movie too, because it's got basically an alchemist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow. The parallels. And so, yeah, we get to the bottom and that's when they're like,
Zed's like freaking out
because
like
there's nothing. They're still there.
They're just in a hole now.
That's when they realize that there's a little door or
a manhole
below them. So I really liked how it, and it made sense. Like this is probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
I like the upside down scene. Yeah,
they're like trying to pull the manhole, but they can't because obviously it's upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah. So then they have the.
And she barely like pushes it, and then she's like,
see the light. Yeah. So then they push it down. And they move it to the side, and that's when you realize like it's the way that it's filmed. Like I'm just like it makes
so
you
good,
and then it makes you feel like if they go through it, they're just gonna like
fall to the sky.
Like yeah, and so
but the way they climb out and everything, oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
they're in this upside down, and it's a mirror.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Which then in turn makes me wonder. Are they in like an alternate universe?
That's what I was thinking too. Oh my god, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That they're in the opposite world, basically.
Kind of itch as hell.
Yeah, and so
what if they really were dead? They never made it out. That fall killed them.
It could have.
Who knows?
Because we don't get much explanation after this, so they get out, and it's the way that it's like they all hug.
Yeah,
and it's like silence, and it's the way that Zed just
dips.
Peace out.
He's like,
don't y'all ever fucking call me again.
I never want to see you.
Literally just dips out.
And then she hugs George. And okay, each time that she hugs him, she has her like butt pushed back so far. I don't know why. She needs to learn how to hug better though. Like put your hips into it, girl.
I was looking, all I could do was look at her feet. Her feet were so fucking
dirty. They were nasty, covered in blood, barefoot. Like when they all lose their shoes, I don't know, because when Poppy gets
I guess hell doesn't have like
shoes, no pants, none of it.
So
no shoes, no shirt. No problem.
Those are right. And then then we get a roll of credits.
It cuts back to that beginning interview.
Yes, that's right.
And he's
like, why are you doing this? And she's like, well, I don't want money, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, she goes, I just want to find the truth.
Yeah.
Or I just want to find this. And then he goes, you just want to find the truth? And she was like, yeah, I want the truth. Cuts. I love that ending. Aside from Zed just dipping. Yeah. But I mean, I probably would be like, no, you have literally brought me to hell and back. I do not want to see you.
Like, I need a week.
Yeah.
At least.
Like, fuck off.
If we ever do talk.
Yeah. Let's pretend this never happened.
Right.
Great.
But I need to disassociate and go have a drink.
Yes. And maybe go say hi to your kid.
Yeah, that too.
Would be.
Oh, man.
I love it.
All right. So, what, Caitlin? Is it time?
I think it is.
Is it time arrived?
Blue time.
Have you rectified yourself?
I have.
I'm rectifying myself right now.
What is that? That sounds nasty.
So I am going to give this movie a solid 3 boos.
3 boos?
3 boos for me.
Boos
I think
you.
it's for me. It was like as above, so below. Like like so above, not average. Like it was just like I liked it. I like that there's thought behind it, and also looking up more details about it. Like apparently the film is like following Dante's Inferno, like the nine circles of hell kind of situation, and what you have to get through. Because in that too, you have to go further down. You have to go all the way through hell to get out of hell. So I like it. I thought it was very thoughtful.
There's a lot of thought.
Yeah, I thought it was very thoughtful. And it's like we said, it's the national treasure of horror movies. And I'm a whore for National Treasure.
Me too.
So
I am a fan. Whenever they played it in history class, I was like,
same.
Bet.
And everybody else was like, heads down. And I'm
National Treasure again. And I'm like, yeah, get that Declaration of Independence,
Book
bitch.
Of Secrets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Do you know why daylight savings time is because Ben Franklin. Yeah, I love those movies.
That little Liberty Bell, love it. No, 3. Yeah, that's good.
3.
I love this film, as I made it very clear. I think it's so fun. It has a bit of a slow burn at first, and a lot of subtleties you have to be paying attention to until shit just absolutely explodes in the end. Just like, I mean, taking of Deborah Logan, just like the Blair Witch. Like,
A lot of these
I am
films,
a fan of all of that.
They build up.
And so, just I love it. I'm between a 4 and a 4.5 for me. I really do like this movie a lot. I don't know.
If you give it a 4.5, it would give us an average of 4.
4.5 it is then. Yay.
And overall, from your Boo Bays, we give this movie a 4 rating for
4.
Boo. Yeah.
We did have one response on that we wanted to read.
Yeah, from Instagram.
Essentially, her name's Zoe. She's gonna be my sister-in-law.
Oh, shout out to
very
Zoe,
soon.
the sister-in-law.
But she gives it 5 boos. 5 boos. She liked it quite a bit. And then Mike said, yeah, this movie pretty creepy. Pretty creepy.
Yeah.
He's a fan. But yeah, so let us know how you thought, like what you thought of this movie, if you liked it, if you hated it.
Comment, let us know. Please tell us what you think. We enjoy the feedback.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And as always,
we are in the lovely Rogue Media Studio Networks.
They take good care of us. They make us sound pretty.
They do.
Pretty.
And we also go listen and check out all the other podcasts that are on this network as well.
Lots of great podcasts on this network.
There's literally something for everyone, or anything, or even just like finding something that you weren't even thinking that you would be into.
Yeah. So many things.
And make sure that you listen to us wherever you can find your podcasts.
And you can find us, on most of the platforms, biggest ones being Apple, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Yep. And if you are listening on there, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes.
It really helps us get ahead. And then if you would like your comments and thoughts about films to be read on the podcast, you can follow us at exactly one social media platform, being Instagram.
At Boo Bays Podcast.
That's right. BAES.
Not babes.
No babes.
We are the babes.
That's right. That's right.
And once again, I've had so much fun. Yes. It's the way that I've watched this movie like at least 5 times this week.
Gotta take it all in.
It was like half one time, fell asleep, half another time, watched it again because it wasn't good enough, and I was like, but then I was drunk, and so then
last night I tried to start it, and I was like, I am trashed.
Same.
I have no clue what's going on.
Oh my gosh.
So, anyways,
why have I been so
and
trashed
sad
all this
stuff.
week?
Sad stuff had to happen. But,
oh my gosh.
Oh well, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
And
like
bye
we always say, bye bays.
Bye bays.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.